Hi there, I'm Mim. Hi there, I'm Mim. So today I wanted to make a video where I randomly generated 3 flowers and made them into characters, and randomly generated Jasmine, Daffodil and Bergamot. Then, because I had no idea what the flowers looked like, I decided to find pictures of each flower and just have a reference picture basically. And it also helps with making a concept for each character, just to know what they look like and how I can incorporate it into the character design. In school we learned to create a mood board, which is a combination of lots and lots of pictures that remind me of that subject. But here I didn't think it was necessary. So with that, let's start drawing. For Jasmine, the flower reminded me of a really bouncy and cute character. So at the start I went on Pinterest and looked up cutesy poses, but gave up halfway through because the pose on my phone, you can see, I just couldn't get the hand right. So I just decided to create my own pose. And that's how this turned out. Me just running away from my responsibilities of trying to draw a hand that I can't draw. Now here I'm just cleaning up the anatomy basically and making it look more presentable. Now I'm doing the trousers, which I just do my usual trousers, and now the poncho. So this little poncho, it's really cute and fluffy, and I really wanted it to look like the flower that is in the picture. So I wanted it to be bouncy and round and fluffy. When something is round in art, it usually has the shape language of something that's nice and kind, so I wanted to incorporate that into the flower design of the poncho. Again, with shape language, I wanted the eyes to be rather round, and a nice bright smile on his face. The hand, I realized, is way too big, but I changed that later on in the colouring stage. Now I'm just doing the hair. Again, it's rounded hair, so he seems super kind and sweet. I'm sorry the video quality isn't that great because you can't really see all the small details I put in, but they're there. Here I add some little buds because as you see in the photo, there's these little balls next to the flower, and I kind of really wanted to put them into the design as well. To contrast with the really loose poncho, I wanted him to have these business trousers that have lines on them, so I guess that's what kind of happened. After this, I thought about drawing the flower in the background. So as a base, I drew a circle and then I added all the petals around it. And it also gives me an excuse not to draw a proper background for the characters. I just realized the full time in this segment I'm just playing with my rubber. Now almost finished with the petals. Once the flower's done, I added a couple leaves to make it look a bit more believable, and also shaded them and the trousers. And added another big leaf for composition, just so that you could see the 2 big leaves cut through and you also see the face midway. And here was the final sketch. Next, I put it on Procreate to make a colored version. For shading, I generally use a multiply layer and color over that with another multiply layer. And I left the background as white and black, because I really like the contrast, and I add the reference. And that was my first final drawing. Now on to drawing 2, Daffodil. For Daffodil, I thought of a character that, that meme with, is a cinnamon roll could kill you? Well, this guy, he would definitely be, look like he could kill you, but is in fact just a cinnamon roll. So I wanted a pose that was like a guy that was relaxed and just chilling. But then I realized that the reference I took, well, it would look rather similar to the reference I took for Jasmine. So I just inverted it and it made quite a difference. I struggled so much while making this hand that I had to redo it so many times, as you can see here. I just couldn't get the muscle right on it, so it kept looking weird. And the fingers looked a lot like frog fingers, with bulbs at the end, so I had to keep rubbing that out and redoing that as well. This arm in general was just a nightmare to make. Then I started with the clothing. You can't really see, but on the paper next to me, I kind of have this bell shape for sleeves, just like the flower. And I wanted to add the flower-like shape to the sleeves, just to make it look a bit more like the flower. Now I'm adding all the folds in the clothing. I really like doing folds, they're satisfying. Once you know where they are, they're kind of easy to put. I'm just adding little ornaments to him, and then I thought of making these little bell creatures, and I'm just so glad I put them. They just bring so much more life to it. The guy's now a dad, and he has to take care of his little flower blobs. I don't know. I just found it cute. And for the shorts, I also put the back part of the flower, the star-shaped part of the flower, as the cuff. For the cuff, I don't know. Searched on Google, it's short cuffs. And there we are, that was the sketch phase. Here it is in more detail. Next, I put it on Procreate again and edited up a lot of things, especially around the hips area. I realized his chest was just way too long, so I had to edit that. And now put shading with the multiply layer. I usually put the blush a lot less dark than the rest. For that yellow shirt, I changed it to green because I felt there was just a bit too much yellow in the picture. And there we go, that's my colored version. Now for the third one, I wanted him to be really evil looking, or just mean, because the flower itself, it looks like it would be mean. I don't know. I had struggled so much with this pose. This was the pose that I struggled the most on out of all three, just because I kept redoing it. I didn't actually show every time I redid it, but I redid it a couple times. I had almost a finished drawing and just rubbed it all out because I just didn't like the pose. So the legs were a big struggle in all this, because I looked at the reference and I didn't quite like the reference, so I didn't want to copy it completely. So I just kept doing the back leg over and over again, and it just didn't kind of look right. But the reference one, I liked the reference a lot, but it felt kind of flat. That leg just kind of felt flat, so I just kept redoing it to try and make it more dynamic. But I just couldn't make it work. This is where I kind of just took a step back and reevaluated it and decided to just not put the leg downwards but sideways instead. And it made it look a lot more dynamic. So here I just continue with the pose. And I also had trouble with this hand as well, because I realized, as I said in my first drawing with the Jasmine one, I made the hand too big, so I didn't want to remake that same mistake. The hand is usually about the size of your face. If you put it up to your face, you'll see that this is the size of your face. And I added a barrel to it, just so he wasn't sitting on nothing. And continued. I wanted him to look kind of like Mafia with a suit, but also evil cape. The cape is the bit that represents the flower most, because the petals of the flower kind of look like snake tongues a bit, so I wanted to add that on to the jacket. This is where the shirt went from nice guy, super businessman to mafia. Here when I'm drawing the cigarette kind of represents the spikes on the flower. They look like little sticks, so I wanted to add a cigarette to him. The hair is inspired by an artist I follow on Instagram called Art by Shinji, and their hair is usually lines that go off from the head, just like hair is supposed to be, really. But it's funny because in manga, usually you have these wacky hairdos that go like 10 centimeters off of the scalp, but really it's only supposed to be like a couple millimeters, probably 1 centimeter maximum. Anyways, the folds. Oh, I love folds. Here there were lots of them as well because he was crouching, kind of slanting towards you. And one of my friends showed me this method of colouring. I really like it, so I do it all the time now, where you just like colour part by part. Then I wanted to add the business trousers again, so we're back with the lines. I originally wanted to make a box for the thing he's sitting on, so it didn't look bad as a box, but then I decided to make it into a barrel, so here I had to change it into a cylinder instead of just a square. I didn't take a reference for this barrel, so just bear with me, it doesn't look that great. On the top half anyway. Watch out, I'm gonna put the light on. 3, 2, 1. It was getting dark by the time I had done this third drawing, so I had to put the light on. Here I just make a big mess of the daffodil drawing I did. I colour his legs in black accidentally, but I change it when I go on to Procreate. So here we have my final sketch of Bergamot. Once I had finished my sketch, I realised after I finished recording that I had forgotten to put the flower in the background, so I added it quickly, but I forgot to record it. But yeah, I put it in afterwards. With his hair, because I had coloured it in black, I thought of first putting it in black, but then I decided to put it in the darkest green they had on the picture. I forgot to mention, but all the colours I colour with from each of these drawings is from the picture. And here we have drawing number 3, Bergamot. And I put all 3 into the same picture, so you could see what they look like all together. I hope you enjoyed the video and give me your thoughts on which drawing was your favourite, and if I should do it again. Bye bye!